Hi Aries, how are you? And welcome because Saturn is in Aquarius. But today I'm going to be bringing you your Saturn Jupiter conjunction tarot reading. But before I talk about the tarot from your past, present, and future, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means for you. So for you, Aries, it's a big one because you're coming out of your 10th house. You've worked hard, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, some of your relationships could have like taken a bit of a strain because you was pushing to work hard in your career and you wanted to reach that mountain. Now that you've worked hard, some of you can actually start seeing the benefits coming now. With it, it's in your 11th house for the next 20 years. So what does that mean? For you, Aries, it's about collaborating with people. I know some of you Aries want to work by yourself because sometimes when you work by yourself, you get a lot more done. But now it is about collaboration. The 11th house rules groups, associations. If you want to talk to Pisces, even if Pisces did work by themselves, but, it is about working with people. It is about your future goals as well. So, this is like a beginning of a new like chance for you, a new career. You can make a lot of friends now at this time between now and the next major conjunction. You're going to, it's about being around new groups, organizations. You could also be like the teacher. You could also be the leader. But it's working with others. And, when you work with others, you can gain recognition. You're also going to be about your hopes and dreams, and gains can come with this too. New ideas can happen as well, and you'll be at the top of everyone's list, especially if they know that you're the person to go to. If you're like the leader, you're the one with the ideas as well. You can also gain a lot of support during this. Patience will be needed during this conjunction because you Aries and Aquarius get on very well. They get on very well. It's a third house. The communication with Aquarius and Aries is like a third and ninth house action going on. So there's a lot of learning from each other. There's also a lot of communication. So even you, Aries, might find yourself surrounded by a lot of people who are quite Uranian like. They're constantly on new things, constantly new on ideas. Even though Saturn, even though it's great as well, on the other side, Saturn is about restrictions. So there may be some restrictions to do with friends as well. Like some friends may go from your life, or you may like disassociate yourself with people too. So even sometimes, even if you end up being alone, or put it this way, if you end up being alone, Aries, at this time, it's sometimes for your better good because the people weren't supposed to be around you. Or even if you end up with a little group of friends, like you can count them on your hand, this can also benefit you too. But it is about collaboration. But sometimes, because you're working with Saturn's energy, but sometimes, like I said, it is about restriction. So sometimes you could be working on your hopes and dreams by yourself as well. So it can go either way. But if you make good friends now, it's brilliant. So Aries, for your tarot reading now, we're going to go to the past. We're going to go all the way back to the conjunction that happened in 2000 till now. So your past card was the Princess of Winter. Yeah. Now, the Princess of Winter is an air sign. And this card meaning is events, situations, difficulties, challenges, stress, and problems. So I'm feeling for some of you Aries, it could have been some like, a lot of you could have felt really powerful, very confident, and also wanted to like sort of push ahead in like your goals and dreams because the conjunction that we had was in your second house. Yeah. So a lot of you wanted to like really push forward. You felt like really confident to go forward. And also I'm feeling also there was a lot of like communication. There was, but even in your communication, there may not have been a lot of tact because this card is the winter card, and winter is to do with communication. And even winter can be very cold. So even how you communicate with people in the past, Aries, you was very, it's not even like, if you want, people wanted the truth, you would just give it to them, but it could come across as quite cold and harsh. Also, and also blunt. But you also, Aries, was feeling very down to earth. In your speech, your communication was very, down to earth as well. There's also, I'm feeling a lot of you are very independent, but also, there could have been a lot of stresses and strains. And also there could have been some anxiety as well about your future. So a lot of you, even though you were pushing ahead and working really hard, there could have been some burnout, and there was also some, I'm feeling that there was a lot of need for patience, but there wasn't a lot of patience coming because you wanted to earn a lot of money. Your finances were very important to you. There's also a sense that things were not moving as fast in terms of like your career and finance. So even though how you spoke to people, it came across like that because, there was frustration within you, and even when I said I felt there was some burnout, it's because you was working too hard and it could have affected you physically. But because even though you were feeling very like ambitious to earn a lot, also, like physically, I'm getting two sides. Like physically, some of you could have like worked out quite hard because you rule the body. But on the other hand, some of you didn't work out as much. So that your physicality was probably up and down. And, there was a lot of stress. There was also a lot of like lots of future planning, and sometimes the plans didn't actually work out. But you did also, Aries, get to communicate with people that were higher ups, but there was still frustration that your career wasn't actually moving forward as well. That's what I'm getting from the past. But your present, which is now with this conjunction, is the world. It's a beautiful card, Aries, because you are now on top of the world. You're feeling on top of the world now. And with this world card, the world card is Capricorn. And the world card is about an end of a cycle. You've learnt your lessons, and now what you want, or what's needed to, what is now given, things that you actually want, Aries, is going to be yours. So you've completed like a successful cycle, and looking back on your past, what you have learned and achieved. There was also a time for a fresh start for you, Aries, and not try to be too hung up on what past mistakes you made, whether it was how you communicate with people or what you didn't do, what even though you thought that you wanted to like learn a lot of things as well. It's a time for a fresh start now. This card is saying. Also, I'm seeing like for the present now, some of you could also be mellowing. Your heart is a bit more warmer now because you're seeing, some of the fruits of some of the things that you worked on really hard. You're starting to see the fruits of your labor, and you're now seeing that you can actually like love yourself more. And also, a new love can actually come in now, because even like in the past, you probably didn't have time for a relationship, or the relationship was very fleeting. Now you can sort of start seeing that, I can actually relax. And, when you relax, you start to feel a bit more warmer because you're fire sign anyway. So, you're feeling a bit warmer. And if you are in a relationship, it can actually go the distance now. So if you are planned to be in a relationship or in a relationship, it's going to go the distance now. So it's going to be like a deeper commitment. And also, I can see like there's some children as well that can be coming for some of you, Aries, as well, if you haven't got children. Because, you're ready. You've learned a lot. And if you, like I said, if you already have kids, you can actually relax more with your kids. And also, with Saturn in your 11th house, there's new opportunities. And the new opportunities, it goes to jobs, friends, and, new love. So, this card, when I saw it, I thought it was very beautiful. I thought it was very what Aries actually needed. And even when looking back on this card, the Princess of Winter, You know, I'm feeling, you know, there's such a coldness with you, Aries, but now you're warming up now. And this card is definitely for your present, which could be happening now, is definitely beneficial for you. And your future message is contemplation. Now, with this card, it's like the world card. Yeah, so you've completed a huge cycle now. It's an end of an era. You know, you can also see glimpses of your future. You're going to also be like you could also find yourself more responsible. I'm also feeling some of you Aries are going to be looking back on the past a lot, because you know, there's things that you may have even hidden from yourself. There may be some things that were very traumatic. You know, if we're going to go back to the past card, you know, it's a cold card. You know, it's a communication card. It's not about feeling. So there's things that you're probably hidden from yourself. There's things that you probably don't want to actually express to anyone, even though you were communicating a lot. But you know, this card is number 9. Number 9 is about, you know, ending. The cycle has ended. That's what the present was telling you. The cycle has now ended. The world is at your feet. You know, it's not about looking back at the past. You know, Aries are not really known to be looking at the past a lot, but it depends. You know, some Aries are extremely sensitive, so they can't help but look back at the past. So, you know, it's all about learning from what happened in the past, Aries. You know, to move to your future, the world's at your feet, and continue to complete your cycle. And even now with this conjunction, you know, the future is brighter for you now. You know, so if you want to be in a relationship and you like someone, just say that to someone. You tell them, you know, don't put on that bravado of I don't really care, I don't really need anyone, because we all need someone, Aries. So this is the time for you, Aries, to, you know, actually, you know, be more confident in how you communicate in relationships now. You know, and if you do want marriage and you do want children, this can happen for you as well. But you have to know that, you know, things do actually take time. Things cannot be rushed, especially if you are in a partnership or a new partnership. You know, it's patience as well. You have to be patient with your partner too. But yeah, it's a lovely time for you now, Aries. You know, you've completed everything that you've learned from like the past 20 years. And you know, you just know that your future is looking more brighter now. We just have to have patience. So, Aries, that was your Saturn Jupiter reading, tarot reading as well. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will speak to you very soon. Take care. Bye.